Okay, what we're going to do here is look at why Facebook ads may not be working, why your Facebook ads are not bringing in the leads. And there's a lot of possible answers to that question. So I'm going to walk you through a systematic process to figure out why that is. And we're going to look into the analytics to do that. So part of it's the analytics and part of it is actually looking at the ad itself. So I have here, let me share my screen first of all. So this is my Facebook ads dashboard. And by the way, if you guys are expecting that I'm going to say, oh, well, the answer, like what to do if your Facebook ads aren't working, oh, just run YouTube ads instead. Probably because I'm like the YouTube ads guy and I definitely prefer YouTube ads. But don't worry, I'm not going to tell you that. Although, I mean, when you run YouTube ads and Facebook ads in parallel, the YouTube ads almost always get better results. But if your Facebook ads aren't working at all, then doing the same thing on YouTube probably isn't going to solve your problem, right? So you should probably figure out why your Facebook ads are not working before you go and hop over to another platform, because chances are the same problem is going to apply to that other platform. You're still not going to get results. So let's take a look at a couple of ads that I've got here, which, I mean, these are working, but I'm going to walk you through kind of the metrics or like how I diagnose if an ad is not working. And then once we've diagnosed that, then we can figure out, okay, like what do we need to change here? So I have this handy little flow chart that I made a little while ago, which if you want this, by the way, I can give you the link to that. But let me see if I can zoom in. Okay. So basically, the first question is, are you getting a good cost per click? So, I mean, well, actually, the first question is, are you getting a good cost per lead? And I should probably start there because you think that your ads are not working. You need to compare it against something. How do you know if they're working or they're not working? Well, you need to have some kind of metric to compare against. So, for example, this one is getting $7 a lead, which is you have to check that on the back end, by the way, because Facebook will often report that as better than it actually is. So it might be more like $10 a lead. So I would go and see, okay, this is saying it got me 11 leads. I'm going to go and check my CRM and see if I actually have 11 leads. And if I don't, then I'm going to figure out like what's the actual cost per lead. But anyway, what you got to know is what a good cost per lead is. So it may be, and this varies like crazy. It may be that in your industry for your product that $7 per lead is good. It may be that if you're like a more specialized or more competitive market, it may be that $20 a lead or $40 a lead is good, right? So if you're in that market and you get a lead for $40 and you think, oh, this is terrible, this isn't working, then you got to keep that in mind. Like have some sort of benchmark to compare against. So for me, I mean, $7 a lead on this is pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. But anyway, so like you got to have something to compare it against. Otherwise, you're just going to have no idea. But once you have something to compare it against, and you know that this is not good compared to what it should be, then you can get into this flow chart. So you're not getting good cost per lead, right? That's where we're starting with. And then, so if you're not getting good cost per lead, are you getting a good cost per click, right? And when I say click, when I'm talking about Facebook specifically, I mean a link click, right? Because there's different types of clicks on Facebook. Maybe I could show you here. There is, this is running really slow for me today. Come on, there you go. Okay, yeah, so see you have this link clicks and clicks all. And you notice that clicks all is generally a lot bigger number than that link clicks. So what this is, and I'll explain this real quick just in case you don't know, cost per link click or link click here, that means how many people clicked the link to the website that you're sending them to, assuming that your Facebook ads are set up such that you're sending them to a website. It may be a lead form, it may be a messenger conversation. If so, that's going to be a different thing. But it's it's essentially the same idea. Like what the thing they click to go to whatever is the next step in the funnel. Now, cost per click all, there's a few things that this could be. This could be they click on, like they see a little bit of text and it says see more, and they click on see more in order to see the full text of your ad, right? That would be a click all. Or if you have a video ad and they click play on your video, that's a click all. Or if they click on your profile link and go to your Facebook or your Instagram profile, then that's a click all, right? So this is like an indication of interest, this clicks all, but it's this link clicks that's the ultimately like what's taking the next step here. So when I'm talking about cost per click, I'm talking about cost per link click, right? And so you want to see, okay, is that cost per link click any good? So this one's $1.83. Again, you got to have benchmarks here. Like, what do I expect a cost per link click to cost? If $1.83 is a normal cost per link click, then I say, okay, I'm good on the link click. But if I was expecting that to be like 50 cents and here it is almost $2, well, then that would be pretty poor performance. And so we go here. And so, okay, if the cost per link click is good, it's what I expect it to be, then the issue is that there's some disconnect between the ad and the opt-in page. So maybe the opt-in page isn't compelling. Maybe the opt-in page is scaring people away. Or maybe the opt-in page just doesn't match your ad message. So you say something in the ad and then you say something different in the opt-in page and people are like, huh, this is not what I clicked on, and then they go away, right? So that you want to look for something on your opt-in page if this is the case, right? People are clicking the ad. It suggests that the ad is probably working, but the point from the ad to the opt-in page is not doing its job. So look at the opt-in page. Okay, but if you're not getting a good cost per click, so let's say I expect my cost per click to be $2, but instead it's $8. Well, then what am I going to do? Well, then I'm going to look deeper into the analytics here. Then I'm going to ask myself, am I getting a good 75% view rate? And this is kind of YouTube specific. So we're going to have to skip that one. And we're going to have to go straight to, are you getting a good 25% view rate or cost per click all on Facebook? Right. So just ignore this 75% view rate and go straight down here. So since 25% view rate and 75% view rate, these are YouTube specific metrics. If we're doing Facebook, we want to look at cost per click all. So am I getting a good cost per click all on Facebook? So if I go back over here, that's this CPC all, right? As opposed to CPC link click. And so here I'm getting like 85 cents, 51 cents. And if that seems high, then I'm not getting a good cost per click all. If it is not high, then I'm doing all right there. And what that indicates is that let's say that you're not getting a good cost per click all. Well, that means that people are not interested in your ad. Like, you're not hooking their interest at all. So they're not even clicking on the see more button, or they're not even clicking on the play button on the video, right? So what that means is that your hook is not compelling. That whatever you say first, like the first line of the text or the headline, is not getting people's interest, or your ad is showing to the wrong people. So it could be that your hook is good, but it's not showing to the sort of people that are likely to be interested in what you're saying in your hook, right? So it's going to be one of the two of those. And the most likely is that the hook is not compelling, because even if you don't do a very good job of targeting at the beginning, the Facebook ads algorithm is pretty smart, and it'll figure out who it's actually supposed to go to. And it'll figure out by who clicks on it, like who engages with it. And then it'll start to notice who is engaging with it and show it to more people that are similar to that. So if you own a roofing company and you would like to get more leads, that's the beginning of your ad, then the people that are going to click on that are probably going to be people that own roofing companies and want to get more leads. If you don't own a roofing company and or you don't want to get more leads, then you're probably not going to click on that, right? And so the Facebook ads algorithm is going to start to notice that pattern, and it's going to start to show it to more roofing company owners that want to get leads, right? Because it's noticing that pattern and showing it to more people like that. So the chances are, at least over a longer time period, the ad showing to the wrong people is not going to be as likely as that your hook is just not compelling. And this is something that I see a lot. People have a boring hook, like the beginning of the ad. So I saw just recently, I was talking about this in an email. I have this right here, actually. It's this mailer from a dermatologist, and at the top it says, "Love life, love your skin too." Like, that's the headline of the ad. Love life, love your skin too. That's a stupid headline. Like, somebody thought that it sounds cute or that it sounds clever, but like, for me as a consumer, that just means absolutely nothing to me. And so if you have that as your hook, then, you know, you might think it's clever, but your clients probably don't care about clever, or your prospects, they don't care about clever. They care about, what can you do for me? And so what I like to do in a hook, and this is not the only way, but what I normally like to do is just get right to the point of what it is that I can do for them, or what is their problem that I can help them with. So this, for example, if you look on this mailer, if you look down lower, it says, "Call to schedule your free skin cancer screening." That would make a much better headline, right? Because that's what they're offering to do for me. Instead, I would put that at the top in big letters: free skin cancer screening. That's what you can do for me. Or you can say something about the problem, like, in Florida, 1 out of 3 people get skin cancer, something like that. That would alert me to the problem. Anyway, so like, a lot of people get this wrong. And if you don't do a good job of the hook, then the rest of the ad doesn't matter, because everybody's going to ignore it. Nobody's going to even look at it. Okay, so that's if you're not getting a good cost per click all. But if you are getting a good cost per click all, but you're not getting a good cost per link click, what that means is that you're getting people's attention, but you're not generating enough interest for them to actually click on your link. So you're getting their attention just enough that they'll click on the see more and they'll keep reading, or they'll click on the video and start watching the video, but then the rest of the ad or the video is not compelling enough to get them to take the next step. And there's a few reasons this could be. So it could be that your body copy is not compelling. When I say copy, I just mean what you're saying in the rest of the ad. Body copy is like the rest of the ad after the hook, after the very beginning. So it's not compelling. It's not getting people's interest. It could be that your lead magnet or offer is not compelling. So whatever it is that you're telling them to get is not compelling, which, ironically, this flow chart that I'm showing you right now, I use this as a lead magnet in ads, and it didn't work very well. Like, people were not interested in getting this flow chart, which is crazy to me because I think it's amazing. But, and you know, at the end of the day, the market decides. So that was a case of the lead magnet or offer being not compelling. I say lead magnet or offer. So lead magnet is a free thing that you give on the front end. You say, just like, click here and sign up for this thing and I'll send it to you for free. That's a lead magnet. Or if it's an offer, maybe you're saying, click here and buy this thing, or click here and call this number, you know, whatever. Well, not call this number, like, click here and buy this thing. So you go to a sales page and you actually buy something. So it may be that the thing that you're offering is not that compelling. If I was to charge people money for this flow chart, I would say, click here and buy this flow chart for $10. Then it probably wouldn't work either, because it's just not compelling to people for whatever reason. And also, another note on this real quick is you gotta really note the difference between what people want and what people need. So you, as the expert in your field, you probably have recognized that the thing that people need is this flow chart. You know, it's this thing that will help people diagnose why their ads aren't working, or what people really need is whatever it is for your industry. The problem is that what people need and what people think they need are often very different things. And so you have to, if you want to have a good lead magnet, you got to give people what they think they need, not what they actually need. And then once you have given them, like you've gotten their contact information, now you're starting to build a relationship with them. And then at that point, now you can start to introduce the thing that they actually need. But you have to build that level of trust first. You're not going to do it just from an ad to cold audience. Okay, another idea, or another possible problem here is that your big idea is not compelling, right? So I tell you that, for example, well, I could use the flow chart. So the reason that there are a million different reasons that your ads are potentially not working. And so rather than throwing out the baby with the bathwater and just assuming that the whole thing doesn't work, it would be much better to salvage it and like salvage what's working and just tweak that a little bit, because then you can get your ads working with much less effort, right? That's kind of a big idea. It's like, here's the whole rationale behind the thing. It's kind of like the big domino that Russell Brunson talks about. It's kind of the function that you are selling. So for example, I run YouTube ads a lot, saying that YouTube ads are the best way to get leads. Well, that's my big idea, is that YouTube ads are the best way to get leads. And I give some reasons why that is, but that's the big idea. So it could be that your big idea is not compelling. People don't believe you, which actually is a big thing that a lot of people miss. Is like, they'll make a big claim like, hey, click here to have lifestyle freedom and quit your job and earn from the internet. And then they have a bunch of stuff, but they never really give you a good answer to the question, why should I believe that? It's like, yeah, that's an attractive claim, but why should I believe that? Why should I believe that you are able to do this for me, or that your method is able to do this for me? If you can't answer that question, people are skeptical these days. Probably not a lot of people are going to take the next step because you haven't done an adequate job of answering that question. Whereas if I'm saying that, for example, YouTube ads are the best way to get leads, I'll start saying the reasons why. Like, YouTube is owned by Google, and Google knows what people are searching for. And so you can put your offer in front of the people who are already searching for the thing that you have to offer, right? That's one of many reasons that I can list. And people think, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Right. And so I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm saying why this is true. And so it's up to you to tell me, like, is the logic good or is it flawed? And, if you have good logic, then that's going to make your big idea much more compelling. And then finally, the last reason that your cost per click all might be good, but your cost per link click might be bad, is that your hook is attracting the wrong audience. So your hook is compelling, but it's compelling to the wrong people. So this is, if you think about Super Bowl commercials, that might be a good example. So let's say that you have the funniest commercial ever in the history of the world, and you're selling life insurance. Well, a whole bunch of people are going to watch the commercial because it's entertaining, but they have no interest in life insurance. So if you're doing that on the Super Bowl, then that's probably okay because you're just blasting it out to a broad audience. But when you're doing that on Facebook, that's kind of a bad thing, because you don't want the wrong audience watching, because you have to pay for that wrong audience. Right? If you're doing Super Bowl ads, you have to pay the same amount regardless of who's watching. But if you are doing Facebook ads, you're paying per impression, like per person who sees the ad. And so if your ad is very attractive to the wrong kind of people, the algorithm is going to notice that, and it's going to start pushing that ad to the wrong type of people, and you're going to be paying for more and more of those wrong type of people. So it could be that your hook is attracting the wrong type of people, And then they read into the ad further, and then they realize, oh, this isn't for me. And then they click off. So ideally, you want to attract the right kind of people as fast as you can and repel the wrong kind of people as fast as you can. So that's pretty much like the whole diagnostic process. So if I look at this, just kind of quick overview, we want to see what is our, she's running super slow again. What is our cost per lead, right? If that's not acceptable to us, and I'm not even getting into like the quality of the leads, by the way, that's a whole nother thing. And that's where YouTube really shines over Facebook. The quality of leads that come from YouTube are significantly better than from Facebook. Although you certainly can get some good leads from Facebook as well. They're just going to be fewer and further between. But so you get the cost per lead. Okay, is my cost per lead good? If not, let's look at my cost per link click. And if the cost per link click is not good, then I want to look at my cost per click all. And that's going to tell me what's going on, where the breakdown is. So one more little thing I wanted to talk about is kind of the two biggest break points that I see. And I did actually get into this a little bit, but just to summarize, the two biggest points that I see that people are doing poorly, or let's do three, actually. There are three big ones. Number one is a bad hook. So they'd say like, hi, my name is John Smith and I'm a dentist in Ocala, Florida. And everybody's gone because nobody cares about you. They care about what you can do for them. And so you just get to the point. You say, hey, do you want to get your teeth whitened? Then like, that's getting to the point. They don't care about you and how long you've been in business and what degrees you have and all that kind of stuff, right? They just want, what can you do for them? Get to the point. So that's the hook. A lot of people do a poor job of that. The next part is the promise. Like, what is it that you offer for the person? This has to be specific and it has to be something that people want. So I can help you lose weight. I can help you lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks. I can help you make this much money. I can help you get your dog to stop peeing on the couch. Whatever it is, it's got to be something specific and something that people want. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time. Like, it has to be a good promise. And Jim says, are you logging out and coming back in? No, I'm going solid here. Maybe there's some tech issues. I don't know whose side that's on, but it seems to be working all right on my side. Anyway, so the hook, the promise, and then the last part is proof, like the evidence, the answer to the question, why should I believe you? And there's a few different ways to do this. Some people just put a bunch of testimonials. The best way, in my experience, is logic. You just explain logically why your thing works, why it is that your method is the best method for getting the dog to not pee on the couch, or whatever it is that you are offering. So if you can hit all of those three, then you're going to be head and shoulders above almost everybody else. And if you start noticing the good ads that draw you in, you're probably going to be able to identify those. Like, what was the hook? What was the promise? And what is the evidence that they're giving that the thing they're promising is actually legitimate? So that's pretty much it. If you would like the flow chart, then I will give you the link if you want. And actually, I put it up here so I could do that. It's dominatethemarketplace.net/ads flowchart. And where can I put this in here? And if you're watching this on the recording, then I should be able to make that available to you as well.